you guys know we sent out a request for you to send us gardens that Steph and I could go and visit. Hopefully lots of your photos, and I'll put the email address down here at the bottom of the screen where you can send photos of your garden or some other private garden you know about. Steph and I, when we travel, we're going to be going to lots of those. Well, we had 2 crazy weeks, really. We went to a couple of gardens we were familiar with, and then a couple of subscriber gardens as well. A couple of those videos are up, but several of them are not. It's going to be a couple over the next couple of weeks. You guys are going to be amazed by some of the awesome private gardens we've been able to tour and subscribers that we've been able to meet and that kind of thing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Mixed into that, we went up to the Pinkham garden this past week. I think we shot like 4 videos or something that will be coming from that garden. I did kind of a silent walkthrough a few weeks ago, and that video's got 50-some thousand views or something. So lots of you have seen that walkthrough. But Steph and I went and did a little more detailed walkthrough of that garden. But while we were there, Bill and Linda gave us a few plants, and were just the nicest people. They've actually come down here and toured our garden as well since we met them a couple of years ago and have become friends with them, and that garden is unbelievable. It's just got so many things in it. But he sent us home with a few plants. We're going to see some daylilies in a minute. So there's 4 daylilies. I think we'll probably plant one on camera. I've already planted 3 over there, but we'll go through and talk about those. But he also sent us home with this farfugium with the spotted leaves here. This one's, some people call this one firefly Aro maculatum, Aro maculatum, I think, or something. I think that's what that one is. We've got several. We got a few farfugium in the garden. We have a ligularia that's supposed to be heat tolerant that we're hoping we'll have a ligularia as well. That's the one thing. Ligularia and farfugium got divided a few years ago. They were certainly close cousins, but they had all been ligularia. Finally, farfugium got cut out of that. Farfugium basically for the south, ligularia basically for the north, with some overlap. We have a ligularia we're kind of hopeful that was going to be in good shape. It was super dry the other day, unfortunately. It probably wants consistent moisture. We have not given it consistent moisture because we haven't had consistent moisture to give. Over here on this side, we visited the Halls while we were up in Virginia, and they watched the channel and have an incredible shade garden. It's actually been in a magazine before. We'll talk, that we all talked about in the video. That video may be as much as a couple weeks before it goes up. That's how much Steph and I have shot, and video content we've shot in the last couple of weeks on the road and at home here. But when it comes up, I think you guys will be blown away by what you can do in a kind of a dry shade space. It drops off down to a wetland at the very bottom, but the upper part of this garden, you guys are going to be kind of blown away by, how a lot of experimenting, I'm sure, has gone on to have, a dry shade garden. And when it gets watered, it's just hand watered. So it's not, it's not watered very frequently. But they gave us this incredible Solomon seal that Steph and I have seen several times when we've in our travels. This one's called what, white leopard or something is the common name for this one. I think that's what it is. Tiger. White tiger. That's it. Steph just corrected me. White tiger is the common name for this one. We've got lots of interesting variegated Solomon seals out here. Steph is a big Solomon seal fan. I'm normally not, but some of these ones we've run across some of these variegates are less aggressive overall in the garden. We really haven't seen a place where one of these have been taken over the garden. That one has spread. That's one I got for her at a rare plant auction a couple years ago, and it is spread, but I mean, it's only like 8 inches. Regular Solomon seal would have absolutely taken over by now. And then there's a little miniature Solomon seal there that we had shown off in a video a couple of weeks ago. So we've got quite the collection of them, and that's one that was definitely missing from the collection. So thanks to the Halls for that, and it's found a home in the garden. It's a little dry over here. This is one of our drier spots over here, so we know when we plant, you learn about your garden over time. This is a spot that if we plant it and forget it, it's going to be potentially problematic, especially at the end of May, almost June. That red maple that's behind Steph here on the camera is very greedy, and when I was digging that hole, I'm cutting maple roots. So let's go take a look at those daylilies. The daylily we hadn't planted yet is called Hamtown Spice. This is actually one of Linda Pinkham's introductions. So we're excited to have, you know, not only is it a gift from a friend, it's a gift from a friend who actually is the breeder for this daylily. Part of the footage you'll see from their garden is, I don't know how much space that is. It's about the size of our lot here in Raleigh. She has planted in daylilies that she sells at various sales, and then I'll figure out how to link this down below here when we cover that in later videos about how you can go about maybe getting some of these. But their daylily divisions are gigantic. She, I think, dug these and cut these back. And Bill dug the 3 that we brought back that I've already planted over there that you'll see, and we left the foliage up on them. Transplanting them time of year, the foliage is almost certainly going to die back, but I don't know if it's beneficial to leave that foliage and let it die back into the bottom or go ahead and cut it off. She knows better than any of us because she breeds daylilies for sure, but I might leave them up. So it's even within a couple who grows daylilies, you know, they're doing it differently. So that'll tell you how, you know, but anyway, they'll be fine. It's a daylily. It's got a ton of stored energy. See, they store energy down in their roots on these little nodules and things. So, you know, this is why they're so good at coming up. So we are big fans of the giant daylilies. Of course, this one is not a giant, but it is one that a friend bred, and it's quite beautiful. So can't wait to see this come up. We won't be seeing it bloom this year, but certainly next year it'll be settled in. This has got to be watered in pretty well here. We have one of the giants behind the camera, and it's not, probably by the time the open garden is happening, there'll be a flower spike on it, but that's autumn minaret right there, and it'll bloom and, you know, have flowers up this high. Let's check out those other ones. This is Heavenly United We Stand, and again, you see the foliage was left up on it, but you can also see that it's in the process of dying back. If you're digging something into May, early June, it happens to be a little dry right now. They had gotten like 1.5 inches of rain over the last week and a half. It's about what we got. We dig out here, and I've been planting things this morning. It's still dry. You know, that 1.5 inches, it's gonna take more than that to break this drought. So this one gets 50 inches tall, and then, so it's gonna flower somewhere up above 4 feet. The one that we added here is called Banana Smoothie, and Banana Smoothie gets 64 inches tall. So this one's gonna bloom up in this range. Okay, fun, right? With daylily sticking up. The nice thing about this is in a perennial border here, and the other perennials in time will just kind of eat this foliage a bit. So we won't be seeing this foliage so much, but when it comes time for this to flower, it's gonna flower up here. This one has flower spikes. There's more soil was left on this one, and you can see only a little bit of yellowing in this. So hopefully this one, we're actually gonna see it flower. We'll see, but it's, you know, gonna bloom up in the 5-foot range. And then we got a 6-footer back here that is called Eli Murphy. And so flower spikes about this tall, which can compete with this ginger, which will be flowering up here in the 7-foot range eventually. And again, these two had more soil on them when they were transplanted. That one over there was a little more bare root, and it's lost a little more foliage, and then she cut that one back. Probably doesn't matter on any of them. They're daylilies, they've got plenty of stored energy. One big thing that's about to happen, and I'll have stuff back up. We brought these daylilies back in plastic bags and got them planted this morning. One big thing you guys are about to see is our friend Steve Castorani, who we filmed at his garden center up in Philadelphia last year, and we filmed in his garden, and we filmed over at North Creek Nursery before. He owns North Creek Nursery, and he owns a plant brand in partnership with another nursery. He owns American Beauty's plant brand. This week is the plant symposium at the in Raleigh that I talk about every year. Last year I actually spoke at it. But this year, Steve is speaking at the plant symposium. He's bringing us some plants for this native garden. So I thought that this was done for the season, which, you know, if you were here last year, there were like 5 plants out here, and now there's 50, I don't know, or more. I don't really know, 50 maybe, I don't know. But it's about to be added to quite a bit. So you guys will see that. We'll shoot a video on all the native plants that are gonna be going in here that he's bringing us on. As I'm filming this tomorrow afternoon, he's supposed to be here. So you guys will see that as a separate piece of footage. So I really thought we were done planting for the season. It's dry. It's probably not the best planting conditions right now. So we're gonna have to water these plants individually out here for sure. But I thought we were kind of done for the season, but it's gonna get bigger, better, fuller before you guys get here for the open garden. We added a native Leucothoi in this a gap that we had kind of created in the back garden back here. We took a few things out that were duplicates this year, and we've added a few things back in, a variegated azalea back here, and several other things we've added. But this is a scarlet Leucothoi. We were filming at a viewer's garden in Greensboro, North Carolina, the Smiths. That video should be up in the next few days. After watching this one, I've got to get it edited. It's right at the top of my list for editing. We would not in a million years expect anything from anyone when we arrive at their gardens. I want to make sure I make this perfectly clear. We expect nothing from this. We want to come out and see your gardens. We want to see you, be friendly, see your beautiful gardens, film them, and leave. You know, we don't expect a thing, and please don't think you need to give us anything. I'm showing these things off because they were part of this video, is just letting you know how much crazy content we actually have coming. You know, the incredible, beautiful gardens. This is another shade garden in Greensboro that we filmed, and they've done an incredible job. They're relocated from California several years ago and jumped into this garden project, found the channel, and have really done it up in Greensboro. You guys will see that in that video. This is a selection of scarlet Leucothoi, which is native to mostly the Appalachian Range, Georgia, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and maybe probably down into Alabama as well. This one's sold as like Scarlita or Zabled or something like that. Don't actually know how to pronounce that word, but anyway, this is a compact form of that of one of our native Leucothoi. So, and it's kind of a lower mounding variety. Should be perfect for this space right here along the back path. We did put up a video from Ram and Tom Giberson's beautiful garden. We did go down to Athens and visit with them, and she is always going to send us home with something she's propagated or germinated or whatever. This is a pink flowering hydrangea serrata, mountain hydrangea, that she sent us home with. It's actually got, it's like 8 rooted cuttings in one container, so we may actually divide that one out. We might pass this one along, pass this one forward as well. I probably won't plant it with 8 separate plants in the container like that. If we're able to, we'll divide a couple off, and maybe a couple will be available at the open garden potentially to pass along one of Ram's one of the plants from Ram and Tom's beautiful garden. Where else did we go? So we filmed at the Pinkhams in Virginia, and then went up the road a bit and filmed with the Halls. So that was this past week, and then the week before, yeah, right. But week before that, we went down to Rams, and then we went up to Atulamon. You guys will have seen that video. That one's been watched quite a bit from this past Saturday, and that was just that's. I did a walkthrough video that might be later this year when that one will go up for the just walking the paths in that garden in north of Greenville, South Carolina. I said it was zone 6B, and that's what she said to me. And then of course, when I left there, I asked, and she said, we used to be 6B, but it's 7A on the maps, but I don't trust that. And then I talked a little bit in that video about, you know, overlapping things, but then I look on the map, and I don't think there's anything below 7B in that area. So anyway, but interesting nonetheless, and you guys will see a walkthrough video of that. And then we went on that trip to Greensboro. and saw the Smiths' beautiful garden. So we have a lot of content coming. Oh, in the middle of that, I forgot we went to Wake Forest and filmed a video, a really incredible video up there from a landscape designer who does a lot of landscape design work here in Raleigh. And so that video, I completely forgot about that as well. So we, again, have a lot of cool content coming up around our visits. And again, we don't expect anything when we go, just having this conversation about upcoming content and showing you some of the plants that we've acquired. And you're going to see that native plant video going in the next few days, or the next week as well. So busy week for us, because finishing up the patio, the sidewalk in the front, several projects going on in a short week, because a lot of our friends are coming from out of town this week to go to the plant symposium. We look forward to seeing everybody when that this week every year here in Raleigh. It's become a big event for horticulture here. So thank you guys so much for watching and following along. And again, continue to send photos of gardens. It's just when we go out someplace, you know, we were going to visit Ram and Tom, and that lined up perfect coming home. I was able to visit with my son after we filmed in Greensboro. That's how we're kind of doing this. We're not picking them by favorites necessarily. We're picking them by, we're headed there, and that one's in the middle of that spot. And so when that lines up, we're gonna come and see as many as we can, because it's super, super enjoyable to meet you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching.